A lot of people struggle with procrastination, especially in this day and age where there's so many distractions keeping you from doing the things and the tasks that you actually need to do. And unfortunately, the sad reality is that if you can't find a way to overcome procrastination, you're going to have a very, very hard time actually achieving anything great. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be something great, it can just be something personal to you, a personal goal or something that you want to achieve. The truth is, nothing worth achieving is going to be easy, or at least very few things will be easy. And it is going to require daily actions and things that you need to do that you don't want to do. And if you can't find a way to overcome procrastination, you're not going to be able to do those things every single day consistently. So I'm not perfect in this sense. I do procrastinate sometimes. I have learned to be a lot more efficient, especially the last year and a half since I started this business. Obviously, this is it's a non-conventional path that I chose, and there's very little guidance to actually where I should go and how I should structure my day and how I should do things. And because of that, I've learned to be pretty efficient and pretty productive. Obviously, as I said, sometimes I slap up a bit, but yeah, overall, I have learned to be pretty productive. Now, there's a lot of things that cause procrastination, but there's four big things that really contribute towards procrastination. So let me quickly go over those four things. So the first thing, now these aren't, listed in like an order of importance. I believe most of them, they're probably kind of the same, although there are definitely a few that are more important than others, but they're not listed in an order of importance, just so you know. So the first thing is lack of discipline. This is a very big one. I really believe discipline, of being disciplined, is one of the most important things if you want to be efficient and not procrastinate on things. If you don't have discipline, how are you going to do anything? How are you going to manage your time properly? How are you going to get out of your bed to do the thing you need to do? Or how are you going to say no to certain distractions or things that you shouldn't be doing? You need discipline. I think this is probably the most important one. And I don't really think you can train yourself to be disciplined. You can make it a habit, but you just have to force yourself to be disciplined. And as I said, then it will become a habit as time goes on. So just be disciplined. Make sure you stay true to the things that you told yourself you were going to do, and think long term. I think the essence of discipline is really to delay gratification, or delay instant gratification, so that you can later experience more gratification, or a more intense source of gratification, right? So be disciplined and delay your gratification for long-term gratification. Then the second thing is poor time management. This is a very big one as well. If you go into your day without having a plan of action, I mean, we're all very busy, and if you want to achieve something big or do something that's very important to you, you're going to have to make time to do the things that you need to do every single day or every second day. It depends on how often you should do it. But the point is, if you want to be productive and do all of the tasks that you want to do consistently every day, you're going to have to plan out your day. Create a structure, block out certain time periods of the day, and allocate certain tasks to those different time blocks. Otherwise, you're simply not going to be efficient. For me, for instance, I have my day planned out, blocked out certain tasks. Obviously, there are variants. You can't. It's not good to structure your day or plan your day so strictly that there's no room for anything, because the truth is there's going to be unexpected things that come up. But just have a general structure at least, and for specific tasks, have specific time periods. Because then if you have those times blocked out, you don't even have to think about what you're going to do next. For me, for instance, I'm like, okay, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. This is what I'm going to do now. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. This is what I'll be doing now. Okay, it's 12. I don't have to be like, okay, I'm done with this. What am I going to do next? Maybe I'll do this or that. No, I don't. It's kind of, my brain runs on autopilot. I don't even have to think about anything. And that also uses less mental capacity or brain capacity or strength or whatever you want to call it. So that's the second thing. Then the third thing is laziness and fear. Those are two, I know it's two different things, but laziness and fear is a massive source of procrastination as well. If you're lazy, you're not going to be able to do the things you need to do, because most of the times the things you need to do won't be easy. And if you fear doing those things, you're also going to find ways to procrastinate on it. So laziness, I think that's, I don't want to say it's pretty easy to overcome, but it's simple to overcome laziness. Just don't be lazy. Just do what you need to do. Fear is a bit different because, yeah, fear is, it's more mental. It's, I don't know, it's definitely different. Obviously, the best way to overcome your fears is to just face them head on, and facing them continually over and over again until you're not afraid of them anymore. For me, cold calling was a big fear, and it's still not something I enjoy a lot, but I procrastinated on cold calling because it was so scary for me. Where there's other tasks that I would do every single day without missing, and not that they were easy, it was just, I didn't have a problem with laziness. My problem was fear. I was struggling to be consistent with cold calling because I was so afraid, where all of the other things that I needed to do, I could do because I was disciplined enough, and I wasn't lazy. So fear, best way to overcome it is obviously change your mindset around that, because most of your fears are just illusions. They're not real. It's just you telling yourself it's scary and your brain making it worse than it is. So change your mindset on that. I would say that's probably the best method. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on overcoming your fears, but yeah, that's the third thing that causes procrastination. And then the last thing is distractions. So just one second. You see what happened over there, right? So if you have your like, obviously I'm not just talking about or distractions on your phone, but I would say, especially now, I sound like an old person when I say day and age, but I know, or yeah, I know that the biggest distraction of our age is social media and our phones and all of that. So I would recommend at least not having your phone with you in the same room when you're working. Now I look like a hypocrite because I have my phone with me. But the point is, what I do is I switch my phone off. I don't switch it off completely, but only if someone calls me, they can get through to me. Now I know that that can still be distracting, but most people know that they shouldn't call me if it isn't urgent, or at least for specific times of the day. So I'm not going to get distracted by stupid notifications from WhatsApp, SMS, or Instagram, whatever you use. I don't get distracted by those. Now, I don't even have Instagram's notifications on, even if my phone's not on, like do not disturb. I don't receive notifications from anything else than WhatsApp. So, yeah, I just recommend turning off all of your notifications from all of your devices, or sorry, not all of your devices, all of your social media apps, because, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things that helped me to save time and be more efficient as well. So those are the four main things that cause procrastination, for me at least. Obviously, if you feel that I've missed something, please comment it down below. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other things that, like smaller things, that also cause procrastination. But these are like the four main things that I've found, at least in my personal experience, to cause procrastination. Now, a few examples for me, from my side. For instance, going to the gym. I'm super consistent with that. I love going to the gym, so I don't miss a day. Obviously, I have one rest day a week, but that's besides the point. I don't miss a day of gym, and that's because I enjoy going to the gym. But I don't do the gym first thing in the morning. I'd like to do the things that I don't like or that I look up to the most first thing in the morning, or as early in the day as possible. I like going to the gym a bit later because that's like a I wouldn't say relaxation time, but it's like for mentally, at least, my brain can relax a bit. And it's just something I enjoy because there's obviously some of my friends are at the gym, and it's, yeah, overall just a very enjoyable experience to me. So I leave it for later in the day, something I can look forward to. Cold calling, for instance, I try to do that as early in the day as possible. Unfortunately, I can't cold call people 5 o'clock in the morning. That would be ideal if I could do that like first thing in the morning, but I do it as early as I can. Doing the hard task first is very, very helpful and important. Another thing, or another example from my side, is I've got my day scheduled out completely. Like everything's in a work block, so I know exactly what I need to do at what time. I don't have to think about what I'm going to do next. It just happens on autopilot. So yeah, and then for laziness, just I have so much pain attached to laziness that it hurts more to be lazy than to be disciplined. So I think if you, or I know if you can reach a point where laziness is more painful than being disciplined or than the tasks you need to do, then that's amazing. Obviously, sometimes that's a bit bad, because, or not bad, but it's painful because you're kind of you're on this fence where if you go this side, it's going to be painful. Where if you go this side, it's also going to be painful. Both options are painful, but yeah, that is a good place to be if you want to be efficient, because being disciplined is never going to be easy. It's always going to be painful, or most of the times it's going to be painful. If you can get yourself to feel pain when you're lazy, that's a great place to be. So I would say an action step for today that I want to give you guys is something that helped me, and I did this recently, is just sign out of your social media apps. Like, I would sign in on weekends, and I tried not to indulge too much, but on the weekends I would give myself some time to actually enjoy some of those social media apps. But throughout the week, I just sign out completely. Obviously, I've different Instagram profiles. For instance, I have like a private account and then my business account. But the point is, the business account doesn't have so many distractions on. So I sign out of the private or the personal account, and all of the other things that can distract me. And that helps me to stay productive, because there's so much effort that needs to go into signing back in that I can't just click on Instagram and accidentally find myself scrolling for 5 minutes, right? So if you actually listen to what I said today and you're willing to implement these things into your life, I can promise you that you will get more things done in a shorter period of time. So my biggest breakthroughs came when I became efficient, when I started to get more things done, when I started to cut out distractions, just go and do the hard things first. That's when I made most of my breakthroughs. That also leads to more free time without feeling bad, because you did everything you said you were going to do and now you have free time. So I really hope you found some value in this video. As I said, these were things that helped me a lot when it came to, being efficient and not procrastinating. And I really believe in the principles that I talked about today, and that if you obviously implement this, that it'll help you out a lot as well. So if you found some value, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments, please leave a comment down below. Now, I also have Instagram and TikTok, which is funny because I just talked about signing out of those accounts. So for you guys who didn't sign out of those accounts, go check out my Instagram and my TikTok. I will link them in the description. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you in my next one.